Welcome Estolia, welcome Hectate. We're just a few minutes away. We're just waiting for our last racers to ready up. And I think this is the part of the game where things get more exciting. For those folks who may not have been following, or perhaps they were, this game has been structured as the players complete bosses. They sometimes get upgrades. It's not like the original Blaster Master where every chapter has an upgrade associated with it. So the first 4 chapters of this game are kind of dull. The only upgrade you get for the first 4 chapters is that pretty boring climb upgrade, which just lets you climb in designated locations. It's one of those lock and key upgrades that are the bane of good Metroidvania design. But this is the chapter where the upgrades start getting interesting. We've just got the submarine upgrade, and ideally our players will find themselves very quickly reaching a point where they're going to be using that upgrade to navigate some bodies of water. And a little bit of a spoiler, we're going to get another upgrade before the end of today's race that the players will have a chance to use, and the upgrades we're going to get from this point on are going to start being far more interesting. So hopefully this is where the game starts to really pick up and the players start having a lot more fun driving this tank as it gets a lot of cool abilities. There we go. There's our last racer. It has popped up. Thank you, Nighty. Let's get this neatly cropped in. All right, I think we are about ready. So we are a little bit, I'd say we're not quite halfway through the game. We will blow past the halfway point in today's race. All our racers are readied up, ready to go. And we are off. So our racers have completed half of the game. For those who joined us before or who did not join us before, there were 4 different zones that they have explored so far. They began the game here in the ground area, which is sort of a hub world. They began by traveling through the cavern zone, followed by the water zone. They traveled to the jungle zone, and lastly, they visited the lava zone. And upon completing the lava zone, the players managed to acquire an upgrade, the submarine upgrade. The second of 4 upgrades. Their first upgrade was the climb upgrade, which is a pretty forgettable item that just let them climb 2 walls. Their next upgrade they've acquired, though, is the submarine upgrade, and the players have probably picked up on the fact that the most logical place to use that would be to take it to the water zone, and we are going to see the players returning to the zones that they've already explored and identifying some new areas that they can reach with their upgraded Sophia J2 tank. Now, this is a little bit confusing for the players in that they don't actually have a direction on the map. They're used to previously getting a little light that lit up and told them where to go. They don't have one of those. So they did get a hint in the paste bin telling them that, well, they just got the submarine upgrade, which is the logical place to return to where they would use a submarine upgrade. Nighty has chosen a destination. Where has Nighty decided to travel to? Nighty's back in the plant zone. And Nighty's going to slip back out of the plant zone. We see someone is exercising the submarine upgrade here in this pool of water in this central chamber, but this is not a place that he can explore yet. Does need to make his way back to the water zone, which was the second of the 4 zones that the players explored. Nope, Muir's slipped into the plant zone. Plant zone's not where he wants to be. He's immediately left. So we didn't leave the players high and dry. We gave them a couple of hints here. Hopefully they make good use of those hints that we've given them to identify that they do need to return to the water zone. Looks like Muir also experimenting with this highly suspicious but not helpful waterfall. Here we go. Nighty and someone both have entered the water zone. This feels like a very good place to take advantage of a submarine. Nighty taking a quick look at this map and identifying there's a couple of places on this map that have not been explored. And it looks like someone has found the correct way. Someone has found the passage that couldn't be reached without the submarine and is treated to a brand new cutscene. It's always a really good sign if you're playing a game and you trigger a cutscene, you trigger a cinematic. That's a good sign of, you must be going in the right way, because they wouldn't have possibly wasted that time to render these beautiful late 90s CGI if they hadn't put it on the mandatory path. Oop, Nighty has chosen a destination, but this isn't quite working out for him. Lots of places where it looks like you could fit through, but it's really just a visual. So after watching that cutscene, someone is entering Water Area 2. Each of these zones has 2 areas. And we're now in the second of the water zones. Brand fresh new map. Can't hear it just yet because we don't have someone's audio, but a new musical theme. Moore passes through the door, notices the cutscene has started. Once again, feeling that, I must be going in the right way. So all our players making it to the second zone just about the same time. Someone a little bit ahead of the others figured out which way to go a little bit faster than the other players. But this is still a very close race. A lot of opportunities for the players to get lost. And also a lot of opportunities for the players to die. I feel like today's goal is probably not going to be quite as threatening as last week's goal. I know that Muware had commented several game overs occurred during the during the first lava segment, and that is absolutely one of the more dangerous portions of the game. But I think that we might see today's portion be a little bit less threatening. Not as dangerous of bosses to fight this time around. Today will be more of a getting lost sort of day. Someone making good use of the blaster sub-weapon to blast these tank enemies. Looks like Nighty is pretty happy with the force field upgrade that summons a couple of spinning missiles to surround you and protect you from enemy attacks. That's an excellent choice. It's like Muware is pretty fond of the homing missile upgrade, which not one that I'm as enthusiastic about, but it definitely has a lot of useful applications. The players will have lots of opportunities as they play through, particularly in these later segments, to pick up these upgrades. They do get to pick which weapons that they want to prioritize for upgrades every time they find one of these pickups. So it's interesting to see whether the players decide to spread their upgrades out so that they upgrade everything pretty evenly, or if they decide to go all in on a favorite, which is the way I played it. I went everything into the lightning upgrade. I loved lightning. It's like Pt.3 taking a step back here, has returned to the main area, is going to pick up one of these aforementioned upgrades. So here it is. It's hovering tantalizingly in space. Got to decide which one of these upgrades that Spritz wants, and then he's got to leap into the air to pick it up as soon as it appears. Grabs that lightning upgrade. Gonna boost the lightning ability up one more pip. And now that he has the submarine upgrade, he can navigate slightly more efficiently, except for actually there's no place here to land. So he can't get his little submarine out of the water. I think maybe he assumed that he would be able to do this more easily, but nope, you're going to have to do this more than once. Muware in a pretty epic fight here with a very large tank. This tank's all the way down, folks. We're making very good use here of the sidestep. It's not really obvious, but your tank's got thrusters all over it, and why not? Why not just juke her to the side by firing a retro rocket? Unfortunately for Muir, having slain everything in this room, doesn't seem like there's anything he can actually do here. It was just a trap. Had to kill all of the enemies in order to escape. Someone has met more of these obnoxious flying enemies. These are a great opportunity to make use of your hover or your homing missiles, which we see someone pulling out right here. Someone's going to need to be careful too. His health is pretty dangerously low here, down to less than a quarter health. And this game does have very unforgiving game overs. A game over will send the players back to their last save file. We say someone is in bad shape. Nighty is in incredible danger right now. Nighty is confronted with a choice. Does he make his way back and save? Or does he forge on ahead? I think Nighty's making the right choice, actually forging on ahead. If he dies, he's going to have to traverse the area before anyways. And there's that death. So he's going to be redoing this first segment of the water area again. But now that he knows where he's going, it should be a little more efficient for him. See, Muir is navigating some of these underwater passages here. It's full submarine mode now. The tank is it seems to be a little speedier when you're underwater. Doubly so if you get into some of these areas that have pretty strong currents. There was a couple of areas in the Water 1 zone that the players could navigate that would give them that would let them navigate with the upgraded tank, that would let them navigate through the currents. So that could be an opportunity if the players want to backtrack a little bit to get some get some more upgrades to their sub-weapons. Who has discovered another trap room here, has to fight a couple robotic homing squids in order to get these doors through. Thankfully, they have the mini-map to remind which way that they went so that they don't inadvertently backtrack, although I believe that particular room stays unlocked indefinitely once they've unlocked it once. It's like Muir's on the prowl, wants to kill these enemies and hopefully get his hands on some more upgrades, but it almost seems like he's taken more damage than he's recovering. So he does need to be very cautious in his combat here. Ooh, he takes a missile. That enemy just dropped a missile on him. It's like someone found a save point deep in the water area. That's always a nice sign, where you can put down your flag, mark down, this is me, this is where I am, and feel good knowing that now you're not going to have to repeat as much content if you happen to take a death. I think Muir is also pretty close to the checkpoint as well. We're looking around to see what options are available to him, if any. Here's a spot where he can navigate a little bit higher in the water. I think Muir is going to be pleasantly surprised because I believe this is the room that has the checkpoint in it. No, I'm wrong. This is not the room with the checkpoint. This is the room with more homing tanks, or with more homing vessels. Muir is going to duck out of there and perhaps do it a little bit better. So someone has found an upgrade here. This is a little bit of an obnoxious one. There's a series of platforms here, and the platforms fall when you are on them for even a moment, which isn't particularly surprising. We are driving a tank that is very heavy. Looks like someone just grabbed that icon and didn't even stop to really think about what it was, which is probably for the best. If it wound up being something he didn't want, he can always just put more of the next ones into his desired ability. And Muir takes a missile to the face. Muir is going to be repeating the first part of the water zone, because I do not believe Muir found the save point. Someone was in the room with the save point. The save point is in the same room as those falling platforms. And we see Pt.3 also taking a death. So, as I mentioned before, this is a very threatening game as far as game overs operate. So the good news is someone has made his way in here. He's found some kind of a locked room, but needs to hit a couple of switches in order to deactivate it. Thankfully, his sister, what a lovely older sister he has, she's taken the liberty of marking up a map for him and telling him where to go. So someone now has some direction in his quest and can start heading towards those icons to make his way through the water zone and hopefully fight yet another boss. Or would very much like to jump up that ledge, but that's just a little bit too high. Here is Muir, hasn't even entered the water zone, already lost half of his life gauge. Lava is no joke in this game or in real life. You might think that you could just hop across the lava and it's fine, but no, it still really pretty hurts. Someone spots a mysterious doorway that doesn't seem to open. Before the end of today's goal, the players will find a way through these strange-looking doors. So rest assured, this is a mystery that will be resolved before the end of today's match. That he's come across an upgrade here, deciding which one of his abilities he's most interested in seeing a little bit more juice for. I think maybe he settled on the Thunder. Yep, looks like it. Gets another bar added to the Lightning upgrade. It's like someone in the meantime has found the second of the two switches. And I think that's enough to navigate inside of the interior installation. To complete this zone, the players are going to have to navigate two interior areas. The first one is going to disable the water gate and allow them to reach the second one. Maware sees the cutscene and decides he's going to skip it the second time. That's A-okay in my book. It's dealing with these jellyfish, much like real-life jellyfish. These jellyfish explode in massive detonations if you get too close and agitate them. So even more edutainment here as players are learning all about the various dangers that nature poses. Beautiful yet dangerous. You must respect the majesty of nature by not getting so close that it detonates in your face. Got this lovely music for the water 2 area. Spritz really wants to grab those upgrades. Unfortunately, you do need to jump down onto those upgrades to pick them up. It's like Nighty has fallen for another trap room here. Does need to slay all of the robotic enemies in this room in order to escape. Makes very good use of his blaster upgrade to do that. And someone pulling into the lead here, not dying, has been a major key to someone pulling this far ahead in the race right now. So someone has entered the first of the interior installations here in the water zone. We can call this level 5. And has entered this area with a pretty healthy status. Has got a level 4 gun here, has got quite a bit of health. Although was at level 5, lost that level 5 gun to these enemies. Is trying to figure out what the heck he's doing in this room. This area has a little bit of a trick, which the players will identify pretty shortly. See, there's a ledge up here, and someone says, hey, I can't reach it. Well, that means you got to go somewhere else. And perhaps the path will open to you. So Nighty's in a pretty good spot here. Nighty's got plenty of health on the bar. It looks like Spritz T is in a similar state, although Nighty is a bit deeper into this zone than Spritz is. Nighty has a fan club, although I'm not certain he's really that excited about it. Nighty trying to figure out how the heck he can get out of this place that he has managed to work his way into. And he's accomplishing that by just jumping on some miscellaneous geometry in the background. This is a pretty nasty jump here that Spritz has been working on. There we go. Thankfully, this will be the last goal where the players have to deal with very tight jumps. At the end of the goal, as the title suggests, our players are going to be picking up the hover upgrade. And unsurprisingly, that will give them the ability to have some limited flight in the tank. And if there's anything that a tank could use as an upgrade, it is absolutely the ability to fly. Alright, Muir is done with this shit. He's got his lightning out, and he has just electrified all these flying, noxious enemies. 92 has fed up with this. He's also got his homing out, and he is very effectively using that homing. Alright, so someone's found a very big, significant machine here. Was he able to activate the machine? We'll find out in the next room. Yep, so someone entered that room. There was a strange-looking machine. Apparently that machine is powered by flamethrowers because someone activated it by setting it on fire with the flamethrower. And the most logical outcome of exposing water to fire is that it froze. So now someone is able to explore this area a little bit differently now that all of the water is icy and he can just walk across it. Thankfully, this game is very generous. There are no ice physics in this game. The Sophia has excellent treads, and apparently Roddy invested in a very nice pair of very sturdy boots. So our players are not going to have to deal with any obnoxious slip-sliding shenanigans as you would in a lesser video game. Looks like Nighty has found one of the posts that activates or deactivates that force field. There's also a big waterfall here that unfortunately he just takes a tumble down. That waterfall seems very significant. Hopefully he remembers it because he will be returning there shortly. He's taking a couple looks at this map, and oh, here we go. He found a save point. Nighty's going to be very happy to see that. Plant a flag down and declare this is my save point. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Looks like Nighty's also going to take a shot at grabbing this upgrade. Ooh, Nighty going the extra mile here. Nighty pausing, thinking about what he wants, and picking up the blaster upgrade instead of the force field upgrade. That's a strategy I agree with strongly. Having those 4 pips of blaster, that's a good choice. Blaster is a pretty useful all-around upgrade to have that's going to last you through the whole game. So it looks like Muir has found the indoor gate, but unfortunately it is locked. His sister has given him some directions on where to go, and he's going to be following that. And perhaps surprisingly, the person who is lagging behind in today's race is Pt.3, as one who has chosen as his avatar and mascot as a purely aquatic superhero. A little bit surprising to find that he is having some difficulty here navigating the underwater zone. But perhaps this is all an opportunity. He is taking his time, he is learning, and perhaps we will see a sudden acceleration later on in the race. So someone has found a free upgrade just sitting here in a side room. Gonna snag that. Has plenty of time to think about which one of those that he wants, and he makes, in my opinion, the very good choice of getting another upgrade to the blaster. We're getting a hint that the currents in this room don't appear to be natural. But unfortunately, our little tank, as much as it says, I think I can, it truly cannot. Ooh, Pt.3 taking yet another death here. I don't think Spritz has even made it to the first save point in the water area, so this is very unfortunate. This means that Spritz is effectively starting today's race over right back from the beginning. 30 minutes into the race, and Spritz is right back where he started. Someone also needs to be careful. Roddy is very low on health right now. Hopefully someone is taking the shortest route possible to get back to the entrance. This is looking pretty good. Just ignore all these enemies. Don't even slow down. Head on out the door. There we go. As soon as someone slips back into the Sophia J2, we'll have a full health. We'll have all of his health refilled. Wisely pausing so that it doesn't even have to risk that few moments. So in that facility, someone discovered a device which appears to control the water. And now that that device has been deactivated, it could be a hint that a previously explored section is now available. So we may see someone pretty close to the first boss of today's goal. We will once again be fighting 2 bosses in today's goal. But as a special treat, our players will get a bonus upgrade for each of them. As a, whatever the opposite of a treat is, I guess a trick. However, the next segment of the game is going to, instead of being high in action or high in mazes, instead it's going to be high in cringe-inducing storytelling. So I apologize in advance, as we're going to see some incredibly questionable voice acting in the next segment. So it looks like Spritz once again picking up that upgrade to the lightning blaster so that he can use that in the next area. Spritz may need to make more use of the homing upgrade. We see here Muir is making good use of the homing upgrade. There it is. Someone has made it to the boss of the first zone. So it's been a while. We fought 3 bosses here as Roddy. So if you feeling a little bit bored of that, well, the good news is we've got yet another tank boss now. And look at all of those life gauges. This is a little bit of the souped up cousin of the first boss we fought at the end of the cavern area. It's a little bit tougher, a little bit more aggressive here, but the same strategy applies. We've got more weaponry now. A good strategy would be for someone to pop out that electric bonus, the electric sub-weapon. Just get up in this boss's face and melt it. Although with his low health that someone has, we might be seeing a death. Yep, there's definitely a death. The good news is we saw someone save his game not too long ago, so there will not be a whole lot of a loss of progress for this. Look at the 90 playing this ingeniously, waits until the last possible second, then activates his hyper gun, negating not 1 but 2 of the enemy attacks. He's cleverly keeping his distance, recognizing that his level 5 weapon is more effective at a distance than the flamethrower. So some very good play here from Nighty. He struggled a little bit at the beginning, but this is the kind of ingenious thinking on his feet that has propelled Nighty to the level of blind racing expertise that he is at now. Nighty wisely blasting a couple of these crates until he gets his health maxed out, carefully avoiding picking up these gun upgrades when he's at max, knowing that he might want to tip back and open them up again. So Muir has deactivated the force fields now and is just making his way carefully back to his destination. So someone has made his way back to this boss again. He's going to give it another shot here. Seems very fond of the homing missile upgrade. We've been seeing a lot of the players using the homing missiles in particular. The homing missiles are a little bit obnoxious in that you do need to charge them up and aim them. But they do appreciable damage, and more importantly, as long as you've got that lock on, you are guaranteed to actually destroy something. So that is always a nice bonus. Pt.3 has found himself in a trap room filled with squid, but mercifully he's at good health. He's keeping his distance. These squids aren't very dangerous as long as you keep away from them. And it looks like he's going to make it out of this trap with a minimal of difficulties. Someone had a good beginning to this fight, but once he ran out of homing missiles, this is starting to look a little bit rough. He's got only about 4 pips of health left, which is very much not that much health. And the boss still has like 20 life bars left. Although it is useful to recognize those 20 life bars are each independent of each other, and that someone will be damaging multiple life bars at a time. Making some good use of the blaster here. The blaster has a tendency to cut through the enemy and damage multiple parts of the enemy at once. So long as someone is cautious and makes sure to fire it at the right time, they can do a lot of damage. Nope, that's another death here. So someone made up some time in the not taking any deaths in the exploration of the caverns, but it looks like this boss fight is going to be a little bit of a difficulty. So Muir finds the indoor section. Sophia is on a little bit rough shape. I don't know that Muir found the save point. If Muir has missed that save point, that's going to be pretty rough. Because there aren't any other save points in this area. There's only the one in the narrow tunnels. Nighty has found a fight. If he wasn't looking for one, he's definitely found one. He blasts these crates hoping that he's going to get some upgrades, but so far these crates have not had a whole lot in them. As far as the start to crate score figures for this game, it's not looking that great. And then, of course, we've got another major video game trope, which is rooms filled with crates that contain literally nothing. Spritz making good use of the electric gun here to electrocute these enemies. More importantly, Spritz is picked up here on turning off the electric gun. That's probably the most tricky part about using it, is that once you activate the electric gun, it just continues until your batteries are drained. If you don't want to do that, you do actually have to push the button again to turn it back off. Some good dodging here by Muir, and he manages to get out of this room fully maxed out. Full health, full weaponry. Although it does need to be careful. He's going to navigate this whole area, and when he's done, he's going to be back in a pretty beat-up Sophia J2. So he is going to need to make his way to a save point very carefully, because if he tries to face off against the boss without saving, it's going to be a tragedy for everybody involved, by which I mean Muir. It'll be a tragedy for Muir. Looks like someone has stopped at a save point. Nighty making good use of these side jukes. Oh, look at that. Beautiful execution there, Nighty. Hitting that hyper gun right before he can get hit. We've shot this machine a lot. He's not sure what it's doing. He'll know when he steps outside. Alright, someone's taken try number 3 against this boss. We're going for the try to step right out of the enemy's explosive range as quickly as you can. I like that opening for someone using his lightning, and look at that boss. Like, all of the gauges are at half full now, just right off of the bat. But someone's got to watch out for these homing orbs. This is a really nasty attack. Needs to stay away from it. When the boss gets this force field, you also got to stay away from it. A bit of a common theme for a lot of bosses, which is stay away from the boss. Looks like someone's done a lot of damage here, but just getting rammed head on, that's always a bad sign. Nicely timed hypergun there by Muir. And Muir's going to make the wise decision, which is get the heck out of Dodge here. So Nighty has deactivated the waterfalls. Looks like he knows where the save point is, and he is heading back to the save point. That's going to lock in his progress again, and he is all tied up with someone. Someone's got more experience here, having fought this boss 3 times. However, Nighty may be the one who does a little bit better on here. This may be where Nighty manages to pull ahead of his opponent. Spritz is just taking tons of damage from these stupid jellyfish. These jellyfish are awful. Absolutely awful. Alright, here's attempt number 4 by someone. Getting a couple of these shots of the blaster off. That could be a pretty big deal. Especially in a situation here where you get the boss nice and lined up. Oh, this is a couple of beautiful blaster shots here. A couple of those boss gauges are looking pretty empty. If you can just get a couple more hits off and start breaking parts off, this fight could rapidly turn in someone's favor. Needs to stay away from this boss when it's doing this obnoxious teal spinning mace attack. Ooh, someone's taking a beating, but the boss is also running out of pieces. Got a couple of nice homing shots there. Nighty taking his first death against the boss. I didn't even have an opportunity to turn to see how it was going, but obviously it was going not so hot. Oops, someone takes a giant energy ball to the face. So that is Nighty and someone tied up here. Spritz T has found the save point. Thank goodness for Spritz T. Spritz T has saved the game. So that will be a welcome reprieve from having to redo this entire zone from the beginning every time. Has Muir cleared the zone? I think Muir has made it out. But he's not out of the woods. He's still got to get his tank to someplace safe. And poor Sophia is a little bit peaked. Oh god, get out of here. Just run. Muir, go anywhere. Okay, there's a save point in the next room. Come on, Muir, just go through that door. There is a save point in here as long as he is careful to look around. Straight ahead, there's just a save point dead ahead. Does he see it? Does he know about it? There it is. Oh, there's the save point. Recover all of that health. Save your game, and that's going to lock in Muir's progress. Nighty is doing pretty well in the second attempt here. The boss says he's depleted about half of the components on the boss. And he's starting to work on one of the boss's main life meters here. So this boss is getting pissed. It's starting to fire these giant blasts. It's like Nighty's playing the defensive game now. Just got to be careful not to get hit by any of these big explosions from the boss. But I think Nighty has taken out some of the boss's more obnoxious attacks. This attack where it shoots a bunch of stars out, that's not really a big threat. Oop, Nighty blew something up. There was a big explosion. I think Nighty might have it on this attempt. Nighty going for the homing missile strats here. Needs to be close enough to lock on, though. There's not much left of this boss here. Yep, the boss is just down to ramming now. As long as Nighty stays back and doesn't get touched, he's got this fight in the bag-a-rooney. But of course, this is not the end. This is only halfway through. Nighty has defeated the boss, but this is only the first of 2 bosses in today's goal. Nighty is out. There's a save point tantalizingly close by, and he is going to be alerted that he gets a brand new upgrade. So this is Muir's first attempt against the boss of the 5th zone. Looks like he's also going for homing missile strats to begin with. Homing missiles probably more useful later in the fight than I'd say than earlier. Not much thunder in the tank here. Not many blast upgrades, so that is an advantage that Nighty had over the other players. That Nighty took the time to pick up a couple more upgrades and had more sub-weapons going into this fight than Muir did. Muir's really waiting for this boss to stop moving so that he can stop and just fill it full of tiny little energy pellet death. Nice dodging here by Muir. Muir broke something. But there's still a long way to go. Looks like Spritz has made it to the interior battle here, so this is good. This means that Spritz is starting to make some steady progress in today's goal. And Muir takes a death by this homing missile barrage. But fair enough, that was Muir's first attempt. Nighty making his way into the cavern zone. So I think Muir's picking up on the fact that his little bit of a weak state of upgrades is proving a bit of a liability, so he's going to take a moment to pick up this upgrade, and it's going to get him another pip of Thunder Juice. Now, I do believe another thing that works in the player's favor, I'm not entirely certain on this, but I believe that the number of upgrades they have, not only does it give them more juice for the sub-weapons, but I do think that also makes the sub-weapons a little bit more powerful as well. So taking the time to get a bunch of upgrades for your favorite weapon can be a bit of a benefit as well, I believe. Someone's still pretty early in this fight, but has done a little bit of damage here. You don't need to destroy every single one of the boss's life meters. There's sort of an association between certain parts of the boss that if you can destroy the pieces that are attached to other pieces, things will fall off to your benefit. Oh, someone having a good time here with the electric upgrade. Blasting off a lot of pieces of the boss. Oh, that was beautiful there. That just blew off half of the boss's parts. Someone's in a very good spot here now. The boss is nearly defeated. And now it can only do this basic ramming attack, making it far less threatening than it was a moment ago. So Nighty has made it to some of these cringe-inducing cutscenes. In which Roddy's sister confesses that she feels guilty for her father's death, and that now she's feeling super guilty about her ability to help you. She also admits that she had the hover upgrade when you left, and that she just didn't give it to you because she felt kind of guilty about that too. But unfortunately, at this point, Nighty has found that he is locked in, and he does have to navigate the cavern zone before he's going to be able to go anywhere else. There it is. Someone has defeated the 5th boss. Is going to pick up his boost upgrade, and he is going to be joining Nighty in the cavern zone. Now, it doesn't help that Muir's coming into here without all his sub-weapons maxed out, since sub-weapons obviously can't do you any good if you don't have any juice in them. Now, another little trick that the players could do that's kind of a meta trick. The default configuration for the weaponry is the square button to fire and the circle button to fire your sub-weapons. That's really inconvenient for using both of those weapons at once. If the players really wanted to be extra snazzy, a strategy is to reconfigure it so that your sub-weapon is on one of the shoulder buttons, so that you can shoot your main weapon and your sub-weapon at the same time. Alright, Muir is not doing too hot here. This boss has got a lot of health left on its bars, and Muir does not. A good strategy for Muir might be to, next time he takes a death, take a moment and just kill some enemies around the save point just to try to get his sub-weapons filled up again. So it looks like Nighty is exploring the caverns. And looks like someone has picked up the boost and is just trying to make his way back to the cavern zone. Here it is. Oops, Spritz didn't shoot that thing long enough. Ooh, Spritz, where are you going? You want to be in there. Oh, Spritz, you need to go back. Oh no, Spritz. Spritz shot that big machine and he decided he didn't like it for some reason. I appreciate Muir's tenacity here, but I feel like it's being less productive. So here Nighty is witnessing some bad juju going on. The plutonium boss has appeared and is kidnapping his sister. Oh no. So now it's time for Nighty to go find his sister so that she can tell him where the save points are. Muir takes a death, although it wasn't too surprising. Muir was looking pretty rough there throughout that entire fight. So this might be an opportunity for Muir to pick up on a couple of refills of his sub-weapons. so that he can make a better attempt at this fight next time. See, Nighty making very good use of this new boost upgrade, that he can hit the boost and then he can jump and he can clear some pretty impressive hurdles that way. Here we go. We're picking up a couple of sub-weapon refills here. Still wants to get some upgrades here for his Thunder. Has no Thunder Juice at all. 2 pips of Thunder Juice. If he could fill those up, that would be worth quite a bit. So Nighty is in the most perplexing room in the game, in my humble opinion. There's a bunch of enemies in here. There's a bunch of platforms. It looks complicated. There's a little nook to Nighty's left that has a hover platform in it, and that's the only way to get up. So I would not be surprised if Nighty spends a good 15-20 minutes in this room, back and forth, trying to figure out how to get on. Because this is the only way forward. And the only way forward is a really obnoxiously positioned platform in a corner where it's very easy to miss. It's someone's turn to listen to his sister's confession. I haven't been paying that close attention to Spritz. Did Spritz find how to freeze the water yet? Hopefully he did. Someone taunted by these highly suspicious doorways. But once again, he needs to navigate a little bit further before he's going to identify how to get through those. Well, we're starting off with some hover strats here. Pt.3 destroying something in here. Destroying one of the force fields here. So it looks like maybe Spritz has figured out where he's going. Still needs to make his way back to that other room and destroy that machine that for some reason causes everything to freeze when you shoot it. So Nighty is taking his time searching through this area, trying to figure out where to go. He is trapped in this area. He cannot return to the ground zone anymore, by the way. He went through a one-way door to get here, and that one-way door will not allow him to leave. He is going to have to beat the boss of the zone in order to progress. So that works in his favor in that it's going to keep him from navigating to a different area inadvertently. I'm also very happy with Nighty having 5 pips of blaster energy. Blaster is a very good weapon, and I think that it will serve him extremely well if he continues to hang on to that and use that. Fun little Easter egg too. When you successfully beat the game on any difficulty level, you do unlock as a bonus the ability to use the skin of the Sophia from the original Blaster Master. But it only applies when you're in blaster mode. It doesn't apply for the Thunder, the Hover, or the homing missile, or the force field sub-weapons. We're squeezing every little bit here out of the homing blaster. I think that's about it. I think this homing is pretty empty. Oh, Moore still has some blaster energy here. This is good. Has to be careful though, because blaster is easy to miss. Oh! All right, Moore's alive somehow. Moore takes an energy mace to the face. So here, Nighty is back in this room again, is still not certain where to go. Once again, the solution to the room that Nighty is in is there is a platform hidden in the crook. You can see that there's this platform ahead of him that he can't reach. It kind of jogs to the left and then to the right again. And that little crook of that left to right jog is a small platform he can jump on. It is the bullshittiest bullshit in this game. Someone didn't turn there, didn't see it because it's hidden in that little crook. So this is a contest between Nighty and someone. Which one of them finds that little hidden platform in that crook? We see Spritz T taking a save here. Did Spritz manage to deactivate the water? Or is Spritz heading back in? Spritz is heading back this way. Perhaps he needs to make another go of it, and he's just locking in his progress. Yeah, it looks like Spritz needs to make another go of it. I think Spritz missed that he has to shoot the giant machine in order to freeze the water. Once he figures that out, he should be able to finish this up pretty easily. Yeah, this room is so misleading. You get these piston things that you think are these interactable. You've got your boost, and you're thinking, man, maybe I got to use my boost to make this jump. Maybe there's a hover upgrade somewhere. But it's literally just in that little crook in the middle. Straight ahead on the right. Nope, someone's going away. Warmer, colder, colder, freezing, freezing, Arctic, glacier. All right, Moore's going to make another attempt at this boss. So Nighty has made his way all the way back to the entrance, but there's nothing here. The door is locked. He can't get through it. Yep, this door is locked. It's a one-way trip, buddy. We're just doing a little bit of damage here. He's hit something. Something's almost about to break. Ooh, nice shot there by Muir. Muir's making good use of this blaster. He broke something. This has given the other players an opportunity, or this has given Muir an opportunity to catch up while these other players are lost here in the caverns. Nice jump shot there from Muir. By jumping up, his blaster is going to hit more components of the boss than he'd get if he was just on the ground. Nighty's looking carefully at all of these different potential side paths, but none of them seem to be working for him. Looks like that was another death from Muir. But all of these side paths Nighty sees are very clearly locked off. I think Muir is taking a moment to think about the decisions that he's made in his life, leading up to this moment in which he's playing Blaster Master. Blaster Master blasting again for the PlayStation 1, and questioning how it all went wrong. Spritz is making his way through here. Hopefully he will be finding the other switch soon. So Nighty's in the right room, or yeah, Nighty and someone are both in the right room. But they need to look into this little corner here on the left. It seems like it should be useless. Right here, someone is so very close. The platform is just in that little crook. But why would you ever look into that little corner? Oh, he sees it! Someone sees it! That's it. That was what it took. And someone is making what we like to call here in the Mystery Funhouse community some tangible progress. So Nighty is also starting to make some thorough investigation here. He does need to very carefully poke around. It's on the left side here. Yep, he's following each of these walls here. Here it is. It's right here. There's the platform. There it is. Nighty found it. And Nighty is going to also be moving on. So the part here that Spritz is still stuck on, in one of these rooms is a very large machine, and like all large machines in the world of Blaster Master, when you find it, you just need to shoot it a lot. And for some reason, Spritz never, just kind of didn't shoot it. He just decided, oh, it must be a decorative machine. So this is the other thing that we gave, that I gave the hint in the paste bin. Someone has reached this strange mirror-looking monster, We have a really unhelpful conversation with him, which is kind of par for the course for these various creatures that we meet in the Blaster Master universe. At which point, you're left in this room and it's like, why am I here? What is the purpose of this completely empty room? There's no place to explore, nothing to fight. And I did give the players a little bit of a hint that once they have reached this room, they do in fact need to backtrack. And then just a random ass cutscene is going to play as a consequence. So someone is waiting on this incredibly painfully slow platform here. Also nice that there's a save point on the way here so that someone knows that his progress is locked in. Spoiler, we are going to fight another Roddy boss after this. Unfortunately, the game leans a little bit heavily towards the Roddy bosses. There are 5 Roddy bosses and only 4 tank bosses. Muir is not doing too bad this time. He's playing it safe. He's dealt a pretty appreciable amount of damage to this boss at this point. Oh god, Muir, be careful. The level in Star Fox 64 where you fight the Landmaster and you're alongside the train is like the best Star Fox level in the entire series. Doesn't even have the R-Wing in it, and it's just great. Alright, Muir's doing pretty good this time. The boss is running out of pieces. Although Muir's running out of health, too. Oh, things are breaking. Boss is running out of life meters here. Muir's getting this close. I think the boss is out of attacks. At this point, it's just got ramming. Muir just needs to line it up and make sure not to get hit. Don't get hit, Muir. Don't get hit. We're all going to cry if you get hit. In the meantime, someone has made his way back, and we get a cutscene here, and suddenly his necklace is glowing, because of course this random-ass necklace is important. And it turns out that his mom is in the necklace for some reason, and she had a key all along, and she just, for some reason, she wasn't going to share it, because she's kind of a jerk. And that's it. Muir has defeated the Stage 5 boss. Thankfully, this is the harder of the 2 bosses we're going to fight in this chapter. The next boss is cleverly designed, but it's not that challenging, especially since it is a Roddy boss. So as long as you've got your gun upgraded, it's easy as cake. So one final challenge awaits Muir. He does need to slightly drive his tank to the left in order to get into that save point.
I read you loud and clear.
I sent you parts to raise the boost power. Pick them up, okay?
Roger. Good.
Roger.
I was just starting to worry about the low power. Where do you find the time to do it? Are you sure you're sleeping at night?
Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself staying alive. My job is much easier than what you have to do.
I guess you're right.
Nettie expressing his disenthusiasm with these very good cutscenes. This is the majority of the cutscenes in this area. Thankfully, the rest of the game after this is let's just go forth and shoot things. And Muir has made it to the save point, so his defeat of the boss is locked in. Alright, Spritz is in the right room. We've got this giant machine here. We've got a hint here from Elfie saying, hey, maybe you should just shoot this thing a whole bunch. Hey, it turned green. I don't understand what's going on. So as a consequence of watching that cutscene now, someone and Nighty have both been given yet another upgrade here. They've got a key. All those funny looking doors they've been passing, now they can open them. So the whole world is now someone's oyster. Oh, here's a free upgrade. So think very carefully, which one does someone want? Someone wants some more thunder juice. With their new upgrades now, someone in Nighty can navigate wherever it is they please. They've got an icon on the map. That's their destination. They've just got to make their way to it. As he finds another upgrade here, he's going to put another pip into Blaster. It looks like Nighty has committed to the Blaster, and I am in full agreement for that decision. It looks like Spritz is pretty close to facing off against the boss of Area 5 now. Just needs to deactivate the devices in here, make his way back to the save point, and he will be ready to go. Someone fighting a couple of really nasty robots in here, but they do drop these Omega upgrades, which refill all of your energy, so you absolutely can be brutal with these guys. Of course, these guys are also brutal. Someone takes a death to giant robots. And he also being very aggressive here, using his lightning to just blast these little Johnny 5 robots that are running around. So, to catch up folks who might not have been paying attention to the stellar story here in this game, we discovered that our sister Elfie has been kidnapped by the Kaiser, the Plutonium Kaiser, and then our mother came out of our necklace, and now our mother is helping us pilot. So now, instead of hearing Roddy Roddy, we now just get the beep of our mother calling us. So once they've gotten the key, it's still not easy going. We've got a series of rooms to navigate, and they work out as a little bit of a maze because a lot of the rooms have entrances that you can't reach between each other. There's a lot of, you fell down in this room, sorry, you have to go around because the doors are all on the top level. So it will be a little bit of effort for the players to make their way around and find that boss room. And hopefully when they get there that they will have plenty of upgrades for Roddy. Because we do have another Roddy boss coming up. So I absolutely love this here. Look at Spritz T. Every other player took 4, 5, 6 attempts at this boss. Spritz T got out his lightning, and he just lightninged the boss in the face and killed it in one attempt. Spritz is already on the final phase of the boss. On his first attempt, he just needs to not get hit by this boss. This boss is getting uncomfortably close, and Spritz just needs to not touch it. So that investment that Spritz made in the lightning was a very good investment, and it paid off quite a bit. Now Spritz just needs to not die. Spritz also not really making use of the left and the right jukes. He needs to get out of here. Not sidestepping on the boss is going to be kind of rough. You've got, just because you have a tank doesn't mean you're dedicated to the tank controls only. Get out of there, Spritz!
Roddy? Roddy?
Yes. What is it, sis?
Hover parts. The maintenance is done.
Oh, Spritz lets it corner him.
I think it better come back at once.
Alright, so the good news is it looks like Nighty has made it to the last room here.
You might become depressed.
What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with me. And there's only one step to go. Whining like that doesn't seem like you, Elfie. Plus, Father would...
Nighty's very close here. I think he's in the last room. He's just got to make it across this room. He can see that there's some kind of an interior area here. He's just got to figure out how to get across to it.
Roddy, listen. Please. The one who killed Father was me.
What are you saying, Elfie? That can't be true.
It's
Need a
true.
workable plan to get Blasphemous Roar to bake that cake. Our last two
One
plans
mistake.
failed. I vaguely remember a discussion of baking a cake, but I'm not certain what else there is other than to just to keep subscribing and to make all of your subscribe comments be Blasphemous Roar needs to bake a cake. I think what we need to do is we need to set up a channel points where, like, if everybody contributes 1 million cumulative channel points, Roar will do a stream of baking a cake. Because once you commit it in challenge points, he can't channel points. He can't legally get out of it.
Her good judgment. Her perfect support.
And I thought I could do the same. And I was capable to. But... Mother... I wasn't as good as Eve. I'm just afraid that... if the same thing happens...
That's not gonna happen.
All right, so Nighty has made it into the installation here. This is he's pretty close to finishing up this race. It looks like Nighty will probably be able to do this in 2 hours. There is a little bit of a maze here. So Nighty has found the red force field, the yellow force field. And so it's a game. You got to remember your colors. Nighty wisely using his side steps to move through these rooms quickly. So Spritz T, I think, is going to go for the shoot lightning in the boss's face until it dies in one shot strat, which is a strat that I very strongly approve of, personally. Just look at this boss melting. Just look at it melting. It's it. Didn't even use up all of the lightning. That's like 2 bars of lightning has melted this boss. I would love it if somebody would clip Spritz T melting that boss in 1 round. And then post that in the Discord for everybody. Although Spritz does have a handicap here, doesn't know about sidestepping with the tank. Because of course, why would you? Why would you realize that you could sidestep as a tank? Ooh, Nighty took a death here. Nighty took a death in the interior portion. Spritz is doing good so far. Just needs to not let this boss corner him. Well, the tank is slow. We now have the boost, so we can move pretty fast. And once the players finish today's goal, they're also going to have the hover, so they'll be able to move vertically pretty fast, too. Come on, Spritz, you're just on the cusp of beating this boss. Spritz is so close. If only he was sidestepping, this would be so easy. Not a whole lot of boss left here. There it is, and the boss goes down. Spritz is going to get the heck away from this thing. But it's just going to blow up. There we go. We see the giant glowing column of light. And so Spritz is going to get out a bottle and a fairy and sidestep. Oh, no, never mind. He's not going to be able to run warp to Ganon's tower. Unfortunately, Spritz is going to have to continue playing this game.
What's going on? What's happening?
Spritz T is absorbing the energy of the boost. And now he can go fast. So, we see Nighty in this nasty looking room with these 3 giant robots here. Luckily, Nighty is no stranger to using his sub-weapons, and he picks up one of these Omegas. These Omegas are going to refill all his weapons, so now he can use whichever weapon he prefers to fight them, and so he is definitely going to be getting aggressive on these guys. If he can get one of them to stop moving long enough to actually get shot. Oh, nicely done, Nighty. Gets him in the corner. He's going to pick up a full health refill there. That feels good. Someone is exploring the indoor area. I believe this is the only indoor area in this entire zone. Just needs to make his way to the boss. It is a maze of switches. We're going to see a few of these. Particularly at the end of zone number 8, the players are going to have to go through a pretty lengthy sequence of switch and locked gate puzzles. We see someone navigating these spikes. You've got to carefully dodge across the spikes to get through safely. Alright, it's Mooer's turn. This is the room that thwarted someone in Nighty. He's going to take his time to clear out these enemies. That's a wise decision to make. Meanwhile, we've got Spritz entering Cavern Zone at long last, making his way into the last area. Oh, does Mooer see it? Does Mooer see it? It was visible on Muir's screen. Did he notice it? I think he did. Oh, there it is. Oh, this is a huge boon for Muir. This is going to save him a lot of time over his opponents. So Nighty is joining someone in the facility, although Nighty is a bit further behind, running through this big room that is filled with all of these creatures that are just blasting at random. Why am I dropping frames? Internet, please. What is going on? Why am I dropping frames?
Elfie! Damn! Why? Why her and not me? Now what? Damn it!
Alright, this is looking a little bit better. I apologize for that hiccup, everybody.
What should I do?
At any rate, alright, hopefully this is all working again. And we're not dropping so many frames. Someone is already facing off against the boss of this zone. This giant mirror creature. So, in absolute contravention to everything else we've faced off against in this race, this creature has only a single life bar. But that life bar represents a bunch of little orbs that are flying around here. And it looks like that's it. Is it?
But
Yep, there it is. Someone has destroyed enough of the orbs that the boss has exploded.
I'm afraid that Elfie, the monster, mistook her for me.
And there is
Kaiser's
the
betrayal.
finish.
Kaiser? I don't understand. What's going on?
Get a grip on yourself, Roddy.
And with that, someone has cleared the goal. Just needs to grab the upgrade.
If you do, you'll surely find Elfie.
But my sister.
It's okay. She's still alive. And Roddy, the only one who can save Elfie is you.
Elfie.
Someone has slipped into the maintenance terminal. It's going to get those hover parts. It's going to save the game, and that's going to do it. There is the first dot done in today's race at 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 2 seconds. Someone 325 has cleared today's goal and taken the victory in today's race. However, Nighty is not very far behind. I think we'll be seeing a finish from Nighty not too long from now. I think Nighty has deactivated some of the barriers here. He needs to make his way past the fuchsia barriers. Well-timed Hyper Blast there from Nighty to defeat the enemies and unlock the door. Muir has found an upgrade here, and he's thinking carefully. It looks like he wants more thunder. And of course, not only congratulations to someone for today's race, but this is an opportunity for him to have gotten an upset over Muir. You may remember about 2 weeks ago us playing 7th Cross Evolution. That was a one-on-one match between someone and Muir. Muir took the top spot in that race, but having defeated Muir today, someone has paid him back. Looks like Nighty's found a save point. Looks like he might be pretty close to defeating the boss. The boss of this area is not too challenging. Unfortunately, we missed some of that fight from someone due to the stream having a little bit of a hiccup there, and I apologize for that. But we will hopefully get to see a full fight here from Nighty. And I think Nighty is full up on equipment too. Yeah, Nighty's got a full level 6 gun. Well, now it's a level 5 gun. So this boss fires out these little orbs, and Nighty needs to destroy the orbs. Oh no, your stream was fine. My stream was lagging. The restream was having some issues. You did nothing wrong. So Nighty's picked up on this fight here. He just needs to destroy all these colored orbs. And that is depleting the boss's health rapidly. As long as he can stay ahead of these orbs, it'll make it a lot easier on him. He's doing some good damage here so far. Nighty's looking really good here. He's just got to blow up a few more of these orbs. And the boss just falls apart. He just has 1 life meter. What is even a boss with only 1 life meter? Looks like Muir has taken another unfortunate death here. Those giant robots are absolutely not playing around. there is Nighty punching in the dot done with an SRL time of 2 hours, 43 seconds. So pretty close race between those two players, especially after a grueling 2 hours of effort. Mooer says, "Oh, come on, game." The good news is a lot of what Mooer went through is just cutscenes. He'll be able to make it through those cutscenes pretty quickly. Well, did Mooer not find the save point? There was a save point in here. So this could be Spritz's opportunity. He may be able to pull on ahead. All right, Spritz is in the most difficult room of the game. So as we saw from all of our other players, from Nighty, from Someone, and from Mooer, this room looks so significant. We've got these pistons that look like, oh, maybe you have to shoot them or interact with them or jump on them. You think, well, maybe I've got to just like time a perfect boost to get up there. No, there's just a little hidden platform in a little corner. Why would you look in that corner? All right, so Spritz has killed everything in the room. He's gonna look and see, can he boost that? Can he shoot those? Can he destroy that? Is he gonna leave? Ooh, he's gonna leave. He's not even gonna look around. Now the good news is there's only so much you can get lost in here, since you are literally locked in this area. The door will not allow you out. Of course, now Spritz is going to have to defeat all the enemies in this room again. Or Spritz is just going to say, screw this. Both our players are in the same rooms. So Mooer's seen these cutscenes before. He's just going to skip on over them. So lots of doors here, but none of them seem to take Spritz anywhere that he wishes to be. Luckily, there's lots of enemies here that he can blast for pickups. Can destroy all of these objects. I don't know what these things even are, but they can be destroyed and pick up a lot of health pickups. So stay nice and healthy here. Mooer's just gonna slip into the corner here and find this little platform. Oh, gotta be careful. He's a little bit too quick on that boost. But luckily Mooer manages to pull it back on the brakes just in time to avoid taking a little tumble. Oh, Mooer finds a save point. That'll make him happy. There we go. With the save point in hand, that means that Mooer isn't going to have to repeat anything. Spritz making his way through kind of an obnoxious room that's filled with all of these launchers. They're all lined up here on a ledge, and you have no choice but to shoot through all of them to get up to the top. Although this is also a little bit more difficult for Spritz as a consequence of not being hopping left and right with his side hops. But he does get a bunch of refills here. Spritz looking around carefully in case there's some kind of a switch, but there isn't. Alright, so Mooer has just about caught up to where he was. Now he just has to ride the slowest platform in the history of man. Spritz slips a little bit trying to make that jump. I think there's an easier jump right here. Spritz even cares. Into this corner that looks incredibly significant, but there's nothing up here. Like these little lizards crawling along the ground. Oh, Spritz is going to check out that strange door-like door. Nothing there, though. One more room, it's a dead end. So the dead end seems like it's going to be the likely place to find progression. Alright, Spritz is taking a look in this corner. Is he going to follow these walls? He's not following these very carefully. He's focused on these enemies. There's a certain temptation. Wait, does he see it? Oh, yeah, he definitely sees it. All right, this is great for Spritz. All right, so he just needs to take his time. He doesn't want to fall. Doesn't want to fall. There we go. It's a new room. All right. Everybody has completed the hardest part of today's goal. Now, there are platforms up here. This will take Spritz to a little room. Where he can fight, well, he can see the boss, but then the boss runs away, but then he finds the boss again later, and then he fights the boss. Now, it's possible for Spritz to miss the save point. There is a save point around the corner, but it's very easy to miss it if he chooses to go back. Like Muir's going to take a moment to take a pit stop at the save point. So this is an important choice for Spritz. If he keeps going even a little bit, he's going to find a very useful save point. If he chooses to backtrack immediately, he might not find that save point. He might wind up wandering around before he finds a save point. So hopefully he does take a moment to explore the path he was on before he was interrupted. Also, there's a couple of different upgrades the players pick up. You might have seen Spritz picks up the X icon. The X icon refills one pip of whichever your currently selected sub-weapon is. If you pick up an Omega, that fills up all of your sub-weapons to max. And if you pick up an Alpha icon, that will pick up, that'll refill all of your sub-weapons by a little. So this is great for Spritz. Spritz did find the save point. That's going to be a huge help. It's like Muir is going to use homing missiles here. This is working out great. Muir's upgraded these homing missiles a lot, so they hurt pretty bad. Plus, he can hit these enemies in places where they can't hit him. Oh, and here's his reward. It's another blaster upgrade. He's just going to accept that. Oh, no. Was too slow, did not pick up the full health refill. But there's another health here. There we go. There's a full health refill for him. So that's going to be big help for Muir. Spritz has found the last cutscene here, in which he's going to meet his mother, and his mother's going to give him the key to the house, because he's literally a latchkey kid. Muir takes a moment to pause and get a little bit of well-meaning support there. You're doing great, Muir. You're doing great, Roddy. So Muir has a destination, just trying to figure out how the heck to get to it. Got this gigantic room here, full of water. What's this? An opportunity to use that climb upgrade. This is the part of the game where the developers are like, hey, we haven't used the climb upgrade for 4 bosses. And then the programmer was like, oh, there's a climb upgrade? I forgot. So it looks like we're picking up another blaster upgrade. I'm not certain that that's the one he wanted, but that's the one he certainly got. I don't think he'll feel bad about that. I think that he's probably starting to say that he wants something other than a lot of hover upgrades. Or not hover, homing upgrades. I've just got hover on the brain. And so now Spritz has got his key. He can open up all of those suspicious-looking doors he's been seeing along the way. And this whole area is open to him. He's got a pip on his map that tells him where he needs to be, and he just needs to navigate through as many rooms as he can to get there. Muir's taken a tumble into a place he does not need to be or does not want to be. Alright, Moo's seeing that he's kind of close. Oh, here we go. We found an upgrade here. Looks like Spritz is going to clear out these monsters who are threatening him, and then he's going to carefully decide what he wants to upgrade. Thinking about the thunder, decides not. Probably not excited about that force field. Oh yeah, he wants that blaster upgrade. We're dodging across this glowing purple goo. It's probably poisonous. That's why it's poisonous to tanks. So unfortunately, this didn't work out very well for Muir. His lightning is still pretty low level. But his blaster is doing pretty good. Oh, there we go. He picked up another thunder. I think that was a wonderful thing to find. Oh, then Mooer takes a death. Sprit's spotting this second passage here and is going to hop into that. So he's now on a higher part of this room. I think he can make these jumps, but he's going to have to time it very carefully, and that's absolutely not going to do it. We're fighting these giant robots yet again. He gets an upgrade for defeating the robots, and he definitely wants that. Gonna make good use of his homing. Omega's gonna refill all of his energy. Not sure what that other blue thing he picked up. That might be temporarily giving him unlimited energy for his boosters, which is not really helpful. This robot does not want to stop moving. There we go. Mooer has survived. He gets another pickup here. He's going to put that in the Thunder upgrade. Alright, Spritz is navigating through these rooms, trying to make his way. Oops, that's maybe not the right way. Or maybe he wants to go right. Nope, that wasn't the way Spritz wanted. Spritz was trying to get into that dead end. That'll take him to a large room. I think that room might even have 2 upgrades he can pick up. But either one, whichever upgrade he picks up, it's going to give him something as a better weapon. I think Mooer's in the last room. He just needs to cross this room. I think as soon as Mooer checks his map, he's going to realize that he passed by his destination. Or did he? Nope, I think he realizes that he found his destination and he passed right on by it. It's an orbiting platform. Moore's trying to get rid of the people who would harass him as he tries to cross it. Alright, so Muir is ready here. He just needs to hop on this platform as it passes by him. There we go. Hop over to this ledge. And here it is. There is his destination. I think Spritz has seen the majesty of having these upgrades, and so he's going to cautiously decide what to pick up. He's going to pick up a force field upgrade here. Now, there might be another up... Oh, God, he fell. And Spritz takes a moment to decide if he even gives enough of a shit to climb back up, and the answer is a resounding no. Muir walks directly into a red force field, walks directly into a green force field. This is Blaster Master teaches colors and shapes. Muir's taken a lot of damage here from these force fields. Almost might not be a bad idea to dip back out of this area since he's so close to the entrance and get a full health refill. Oh, there we go. Picked up a health pickup from there. Took a hit, but got a refill as well. Muir's find the most exciting room in the game. Enemies blasting everywhere. There's some giant mutants that are stomping. The best strategy in this room is to find the door and exit it as quickly as you can. Spritz trying to use his thunder against these robots, but these robots don't stop moving. The room that Muir was in, I believe you can exit without doing anything. The one that Spritz is in, yes, you definitely have to destroy those. So Spritz sees a strange foreign power-up, picks it up, and it does nothing. If Spritz had the hover module, it would be unlimited hover for a temporary time, but that's not really helpful. Ooh, Spritz is looking rough here. If he can kill one of these robots and get a full health, he'll be fine. Alright, did one of them drop a full health? There's an Omega. There's a Thunder. Oh god, look in the corner. Did the other robot drop a health? And Muir takes a spike through the foot. Oh, thank God for Spritz. Spritz finds a save point. Spritz has found a save point. He's got to be crossing his heart that he was so fortunate as to find that. Exactly when he needed it. I think Muir might be a little bit further behind, though. Muir taking a death. Yeah, so here's Muir going right back into the room with the giant robots. Gonna fight them again. I think this is the third time Muir's got to fight the Gundams. So it looks like Spritz is going to do the obvious thing. He's going to climb. Oh, no. I thought he was going to climb up there and look, but I guess he's not. Muir discovers a very useful strategy. If your enemies don't move, they're a lot easier to shoot. Here we go. Spritz has made it to the last room. Now he's just got to ride this platform across, and that'll take him to his destination. First, he's got to deal with these obnoxious flying enemies. He gets out his homing missiles. He's gonna... Well, he's not gonna do anything, I guess. Spritz, you gonna fight him? You just gonna look at him? You okay, Spritz? Oh, Spritz, was that intentional? I'm not sure what happened to Spritz there. He just sort of gave up the ghost. So Spritz has found the last room. It's actually a pretty easy jaunt if you make your way back from the save point. It's just a couple of rooms to get there. And I think that since Spritz has killed the giant robots, they're going to stay dead. Which means he should be able to just scoot through this room without having to fight them again. If I remember correctly. Yeah, see, the doors are just open now. So Muir picked up the upgrade that was in there. It's anybody's guess what it was set to. So this is one of many rooms where in this area where there's doors, but you can't go into them because they're on the higher level. All right, Spritz making his way back here. He does need to get rid of these annoying enemies and then ride that little platform around. Alright, he's made his way back here. He's far enough away from the enemies that he can get a little bit of a lead in. They're really hard to lock onto when they're really close to you. Maybe that was his issue. There we go. I think he's cleared everything up. Really doesn't matter how much ammo he has or health he has as a tank because he's going to go in on foot. Here we go. He's found a nice spot where the platform is very close to him. Thankfully, it's made of some of that magic steel that they use on platforms that you can pass through one way. One-way steel being a technology that exists in video games since the early days of games. But in real life, it's still not a technology that we've managed to master. But someday, perhaps. So Spritz is the only one. I don't know the only what, but he is the only one. Oh, there's a pink force field. Gotta go around that. And there's another pink force field. Gotta go around that. So there's a temptation here to fight these enemies, and that's always a mistake. You just want to run through these guys. Alright, so there's a red force field, not going that way. There's a yellow force field, not going that way. So the good news is Spritz has discovered all of the directions he doesn't want to go. And here's Muware making his way in. His tank is pretty beat up, but it's not going to matter. He is going to be fighting this next boss on foot. Now, this isn't Muware's first rodeo. He's also attempting to jump through the ceiling. That doesn't really work. I think he learned his lesson that there's things in these boxes that he doesn't necessarily want to see. As we're seeing on Spritz's side, holy shit, this room is just scary and you want to be out of here as fast as possible. Yes, we do have 2 players finished. Nighty and someone were both able to finish with 1 hour and 55 minutes and 2 hours, respectively. Someone finishing in first and Nighty finishing in second. And it's a pretty dead heat here between Spritz and Muware. They're both navigating the facility. There's lots of force fields here. They need to find the first gate that disables a force field, and then once they've done that, it's a contest of who can remember which force fields, where the force fields were, so that they can make their way back. So we're seeing a similar progression here by both Muware and Spritz as they keep hitting these same dead ends. Unfortunately, these enemies do respawn indefinitely. It's kind of a trap to ever stop and fight them because they gang up on you. So this is the part that killed Muware, is the spike traps. These spike traps are unlike anything you've seen in the game before, and the players realize they have to actually time their jumps. And your jumps are kind of obnoxious in that they are just long enough that you jump over one spike onto another spike. So Spritz has deactivated the red force field. And there's a yellow force field. Or maybe it's green. This is also a test of your ability to see colors. Now going back is a little bit easier because the spike traps line up a little bit more easily that way. Oof. Oh, oh god! Spritz takes 2 spikings. He's double spiked. I think Spritz is aware of his pending mortality. Spritz remembers where the door is if he goes outside. Oh, Spritz, why would you even fight these guys? If Spritz could have gotten back to Sophia, you do have med kits in Sophia. That's why Roddy gets a full health refill every time you step foot in that little tank. Now the good news is I think Spritz knows the direct route to get back here. So I think we'll see him re-enter this zone again pretty quickly. He's learned that the room full of crates is scary. Scary AF. We see Muir right now has realized that while normal gamers do not respect crates, they just blow up crates regardless. Muir has developed an intense fear of crates, and so he will never shoot those crates in that room ever again. So one of the force fields has been deactivated. It's not this one. It's also possible Muir is not yet aware that the color that shoots out of the force field generator is the color that is opened. Muir is taking out his aggressions on the crates that can only possibly lead to sadness. Where is Spritz going? Oh god, Spritz has taken a different path, and it's kind of sketch. I think Spritz took a left when he meant to take a right at Albuquerque, and that explains how he has wound up in a place he did not want to be. We're taking a moment to blast all of these crates. Oh my! Brosentia with a 224 person raid. Thank you very much, everybody, for your cooperation here. This is the Mystery Funhouse channel. We are doing blind races, and today we are doing a blind segmented race of Blaster Master blasting again for the PlayStation 1. Which, if you are a fan of games that have slightly questionable cutscenes, gameplay decisions that are somewhat confusing, and yeah, some really cheesy voice acting, this is definitely going to be a game for you. Where does this fall in the Blaster Master canon? I believe this is the 4th game in the Blaster Master series, and this is notable because this game is a sequel to the novelization of Blaster Master. That apparently Sunsoft decided that the correct approach was that rather than making a sequel to Blaster Master 2 for the Sega Genesis, they would instead make a sequel to Blaster Master, the Worlds of Power novelization. So in this game, we follow the children of Jason as they carry on his legacy of shooting aliens because aliens are there. And is there really anything else you need from a game? So this is a blind segmented race. We've been doing these for a couple of weeks. The players are playing this game in digestible chunks because this game is made of something that is going to be a little bit challenging to get through your system. And so this is the 3rd segment the players have been playing. Each of these segments have taken our players about 2 hours. This one has been a little bit longer. Our players have been having a little bit of a struggle here getting through this final area. We are in the depths of the cavern zone. Our players have discovered that their necklace contains their mother for some reason, inexplicably. And as a consequence of this, they are now navigating into the depths of the caverns as they search for the Kaiser Plutonium boss, because of course the Kaiser boss and the Plutonium boss, neither of those names is nearly cool enough unless you put them together. If you are familiar with classic Blaster Master, and I hope that you are, this game follows a lot of the same conventions. The players are going to explore on their tank until they find an indoor area, and then they're going to pop on in and explore on foot, and that's where we see Muir is right now. He is on the final zone of today's goal. In today's goal, we played the 5th and the 6th levels of the game. Our players are just now on the ending section of the 6th level. And it is a dead heat here between Muir and Pt.3, although Spritz has fallen a little bit further behind. For reasons unknown to me, Spritz has decided that he isn't really interested in going to the destination marked on his map. He really wants to cross this room. Although perhaps this is going to get him where he wants to be. I thought he found a better route, but maybe I am mistaken. He really wants to avoid this obnoxious little Gundam that's floating around down here. These Gundams are nasty enemies. But thankfully he manages to get across these platforms. I think this is going to take him pretty close to where he wants to be. Alright, he's got to jump these big platforms. Alright, he uses his boost to make the first one, scooches back. He's lining up the shot. Let's see if he can make the second one. Why is he so far back? I think he desperately wants to see if there's something good back there. Maybe he's realized that he's gone the other way. Perhaps somewhere deep inside of Spritz's mind, he realized this is a lot more difficult than he remembered. So this is one of the events that we do here on the Mystery Funhouse channel. These are blind segmented races. We take these races of games that are too long to play in a reasonable setting. This game takes a good 8 to 10 hours to progress through. So we've broken it up into chunks, and our players are playing through this game in chunks. They've been a little less enthusiastic about this game than some of the other ones we've played. For some reason, they don't think that these cutscenes are quite up to their standards. But we do have other games planned. Once we manage to finish this up, which will take another 2 weeks, we'll probably be playing some Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. Oh, Muir has taken a death here in the facility. I think he was trying to destroy the security device, and I'm pretty sure it's completely unkillable. And I think Muir is strongly questioning whether he actually is going to continue at this, because he does lose all his progress when he gets a game over. It does send him back to the last save point. And I don't think Muir has found a pretty good way to... has found a good way to get back to the entrance. We see Spritz here has made his way around. He's finally found the path that he wants to take. He's just got to He's just got to get past these stupid homing missile enemies, which would be easier if Spritz would use his own homing missiles on them. He does need to jump through this platform. This is a one-way platform made of some of that one-way metal that many platforms in video game universes are constructed out of. He's taking a lot of damage here. These flying enemies are basically the only reason why you would ever want the homing missiles in this game. But hoo boy, you definitely want them for these critters. So Spritz has just got to get his timing down, jump onto this platform. Muware is now fighting the trio of Gundams for the 4th time in today's race. He would really benefit from making his way back to the save point after this, because it does save the death of these robots, although he might not be aware of that. He's going to pick up an infinite hover icon here, which is of no value because he does not in fact have the hover upgrade yet. There we go. Muir is going to whip out the homing missiles here. He's got quite a few upgrades on his homing missiles, so they do a pretty appreciable amount of damage now. So Spritz has made it into the interior facility. Hopefully he remembers which way he went before. Nope, I guess Muir is going to get the blaster upgrade. That's a full health refill. Is Muir going to make his way back to the save point and save, or is he going to head straight on? Alright, Muir is going to wisely save the game here. So we see Spritz is dealing with these spike traps. These spike traps are a trap that the players hadn't seen a single time before in this game until today. So it's taking them a little bit of effort to get used to those. Especially because your jump likes to take you directly onto the next spike trap. Now, I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with the Mystery Funhouse channel, but for those who might not be, we are a blind racing channel. We do pretty much nothing but blind races. We have these blind segmented races we're doing. We do a number of tournaments. We just finished up the Steam tournament, where players played games out of their Steam catalog. We just finished up the Giant Troopa tournament, in which players played games randomly selected from the Giant Bomb database. But we do have upcoming our best and our brightest of our tournaments. Mystery Tournament 16 is going to be starting in about a month and a half. Sign-ups are open now. Once again, it's a blind racing tournament. It's going to be one-on-one races in which 2 players are going to be given a game from a pool of curated races, and they're going to be challenged to complete that game and that goal in a faster time than their opponent. If you're familiar with the Brosencha's Kuso Grande, and I'm sure that that's where you folks have come from, unlike Kuso Grande, these are going to be more of dedicated goals. The players are going to be given a specific goal to complete with the expectation that they can complete that in a time of about 30 to 45 minutes. And it's a fun tournament in that a lot of the games are selected very deliberately to be really high quality games. I know that we've got a lot of players who spend all year hunting through selections of games to pick out the best and the brightest. They want everybody to have a blast. So if you have not done so already, I strongly encourage you folks to join our Discord and sign up for Mystery Tournament 16. Everybody will be happy to get you set up. You will have to recommend 2 games for people to play. That could be as easy as picking up a couple of retro games on consoles that can be emulated. It can be some freeware games you found from somewhere else. And if you are struggling a little bit to find some ideas, you definitely hit up the Discord and folks will give you some suggestions. But we strongly encourage you folks to sign up and join Mystery Tournament 16. So Muir has made his way into the facility again. I think this is his third trip here, and I hopefully believe that this will be his last. He's navigated this first section a couple times. This is a pretty standard maze where you have to find the generator, destroy it, and it will deactivate the force field of the matching color. Our players found the red force field generator, and now they just need to find the door that unlocked and make their way through. And that will take them to yet another force field generator, and so forth. This is a test of your memory, and thankfully the players will find a save point at the end that will spare them from having to redo this area once they manage to reach the boss. Just like the original Blaster Master, when they're on foot, their weapons are they collect weapon upgrades. And you can see on the bottom left, we see Spritz T has 5 pips in his weapon upgrade bar, so he's firing a level 5 gun, which is a grenade launcher. Muir is up to 6 pips, which is his flamethrower. And if the players take damage, they will lose that weapon, so it is very important for them to be careful. Spritz doesn't want to hit these spike traps. They will sap away his weapon and his health. And make him very vulnerable. We're making it through the Room of Death here yet again. On his first visit, he decided to blow up the crates, and he realized that was probably an incredibly poor decision on his part. Those crates contain horrific mutants, and he really doesn't like horrific mutants. So Spritz and Muir are racing to see who can find the force field that they've deactivated first. If the players are thoughtful, they may be able to remember where the colors are, and if they do that, that will save them a lot of time. Since they can recognize which colors they've deactivated. Looks like Muir is the first one to find it. Muir has found the door that he did not open before. Unfortunately, Spritz is in a room that's got a security lock. He has to destroy the robots. Looks like Muir has destroyed yet another generator here. That's going to give him another door unlocked. This is a pretty straightforward quest at this point. The players just need to be the first one to make it to the next locked door until they reach the boss. So, for a story update, which you actually don't want to know, but you're going to get it anyways, the plot of this game is that their heroic father and the hero of the original Blaster Master, Jason, has tragically died. He died as he lived, shooting aliens in his giant tank. And so his children, young Roddy, who is our protagonist, who totes his gun, and who is a little bit of the emotional child in the family, and his elder sister Elfie, who is the more serious and studious of the children, have taken on his mantle. Roddy has taken his blaster and his tank, whereas Elfie operates as our navigator, giving us advice and interrupting us repeatedly by shouting "Roddy, Roddy" into the microphone to let us know there's a boss in the next room. And they are exploring a mysterious cavern because apparently there are tsunamis, earthquakes, and global warming being caused by aliens underground, and as heroes are wont to do, they decide to go underground and shoot the aliens until the earthquakes stop. And so at this point, Roddy's sister has been kidnapped, and so now he and his necklace mother are going to try to rescue her from this horrific monster, which Spritz has just found. So Spritz did manage to save his game, so now it's just he needs to defeat this boss. And in absolute contravention to every other boss in this game thus far, this boss only has 1 life meter, which is probably a strange and confusing situation for poor Spritz here. All right, Spritz has figured out the trick to this boss. This is the only boss you don't fight it directly. He does need to destroy these glowing orbs that the boss is generating. And each of those glowing orbs he destroys is going to deplete a small segment of the boss's health. They're pretty easy to destroy. Spritz is still at a level 4 blaster, so he's still able to destroy these pretty effectively, but he does have to be careful because this his blaster does get significantly weaker the more damage he takes. He's already down to a level 3 blaster, and it's already taking him significantly longer to destroy these orbs. But he's making good progress. The boss is down. It's only got about 1/3 of its health left. Just a little bit of health left here. This fight is getting a little bit hectic. Spritz is going to use his hyper gun here. He's down to only a level 2 gun. The strength of his gun is depleted, but it's okay. He's made it through. The boss's life meter is depleted. It's now going to go through a really lazy cutscene here where they're going to say, yeah, just make the model get bigger, and then it's going to have an explosion. Yeah, that's the ticket. And it explodes in a giant pre-rendered detonation. Giant shaft of light appears. Much like in reality, if you saw a shaft of light, the correct response is to immediately step into that shaft of light. A very close race here, but it looks like Spritz is going to take the victory just moments ahead of Muir. Muir just now entering the boss room. So we should be seeing our last 2 dot dones here pretty shortly, one after the other. Mercifully, this boss is way easier than the previous boss that we faced. And now it's Muir's chance to fight the boss. We're going to see if he manages to get through here as quickly. All right, so it looks like Muir's picking up right away on what he needs to do. He needs to be shooting all of these orbs. We can see how quickly he's blasting through these things with his level 4, well, now it's a level 5 blaster. All right, Muir is just melting through this boss, down to 50% health. The boss kind of gets into a desperation phase here, but it really doesn't work in his favor. In that it just makes more targets, and that's it. The boss is just starting to fall apart here. Muir's just got to blow up a couple more of these orbs. And there it is. The boss's life meter has disappeared. Spritz typing into the chat, his comment in the race is, if you continue on, you might become depressed. One of the most prophetic voice acting lines in this game. All right, and we're just about done here. Muir is going to step into the light, save his game, and that'll be the dot done. And that'll be the end of this race. We've got some more action coming up, not on this channel, but I've been told we've got another channel that's going to be doing a blind playthrough of the new game I Am Fish. So immediately after this, we're going to jump on over and we're going to watch a friend of mine play some I Am Fish blind. Muir just needs to find the save point. There it is. Oh, no, wait. No, it's not. Where is it? Did you find the save point? I think Muir's going to scooch over to the other area. He's going to He's going to take a moment here. He's last in today's race, so he's going to make sure that he scooches over to the right location for his save point. Nope, that's not a door. That's a little tunnel. We do have this lovely remix of the classic Blaster Master theme here for the hub world. So at any rate, this is the end of today's broadcast of Blaster Master Blasting Again for the PlayStation 1. We are going to return next Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern for part 4 out of 5, and we're going to see our players play again, and they're going to make use of this fancy schmancy hover upgrade that they've picked up. Definitely sign up for our Discord, particularly to join us for Mystery Tournament 16 coming up, and for many of these other races. We're always ready for exciting races, and you never know what kind of races we're going to be having, because we're doing anything. If you want to jump on in and join us for some races, we rebroadcast everything. So let's go ahead, and as we see this dot done here from Mooware, we're going to go ahead and we're going to raid a friend of mine, Raul Storage. He is playing some I Am Fish today, so I hope that you folks will join him in that exciting playthrough of a strange and wonderful game by the makers of I Am Bread. There is the dot done from Mooware, 3 hours, 8 minutes, 22 seconds. So thank you everybody for joining us here on the Mystery Funhouse channel. Thank you to all you raiders from Brosentia. I hope that you'll join us here again next week for another exciting segment of Blaster Master Blasting Again. And I hope that you will join up for Mystery Tournament 16. Sign-ups are open until the end of November, so definitely get signed up for that contest and join us here. We'll see you again here next time on Mystery Funhouse. Have a good night, have a good weekend, have a good Sunday, and I hope to see us again soon.